What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Midnight, entitled Rebirth by Blasphemy. This is released on Metal Blade Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Cleveland, Ohio, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very sleazy, aggressive, blasphemous hybrid of both speed metal and black metal. Yeah. Trying some new lighting this time around. Definitely let me know what you think about this. This probably will be the new thing going forward here. But yeah. Gotta love Midnight. Gotta love their look. Gotta love their badass attitude. Gotta love how far this band has come along over the years. From some very, very legendary EP and demo-related works to this band's very decorated sort of full-length discography with albums such as Satanic Royalty, No Mercy for Mayhem. Of course, the last time we had heard something from them with Sweet Death and Ecstasy, and then their later aggression with the Shocks of Violence EP. Just some really crazy, over-the-top sort of music that this band has created. I love their look. I love their stage presence. I love their energy. I just love that they embody the spirit of rock and roll mixed in with elements of black metal, punk, speed metal, just everything. Just a really crazy project. I love Athenar. I love what he's brought to the table with Midnight. And of course, this band would only become a bigger deal as time goes by. But in 2020, we found out that there was going to be a new full-length from Midnight. Of course, this band released the title track of their forthcoming album entitled Rebirth by Blasphemy. When I found out that they got signed to Metal Blade, I wasn't really all that surprised because I knew by them signing to Metal Blade, this was going to further enhance their profile, make them an even bigger deal than what they already are. Of course, they had been getting on bigger tours. I believe they did the Decibel Magazine tour last year. And just the sky's the limit sort of thing here. And of course, with signing to a big label comes the big level of skepticism. Like, do you think this is going to change their style? Do you think this is going to change who Midnight were or are? Or any sort of worries that some people might have, they would go into this new full-length album. And speaking of new full-length album, here we are with the fourth full-length from Midnight entitled Rebirth by Blasphemy. It's 10 tracks and it clocks in at around 34 minutes in length. And pretty much after listening to this, I gotta say, it definitely feels like a straight-up Midnight record. I don't think there should be any sort of worry of whether or not this band is changing their style, being on a new label or not. This sounds like a Midnight record. This feels like a Midnight record, and I'm definitely enjoying this a lot more than I'm enjoying their last full length. I really liked Sweet Death and Ecstasy, but I think Rebirth by Blasphemy is way, way better. Of course, this album starts off with a bang with the track Fucking Speed and Darkness, and it definitely feels like the typical Midnight attitude, the typical Midnight aggression, just absolutely pounding in-your-face riffs. Athenar being as aggressive and snarly with his vocal styles, fast-paced drumming all the way throughout. It's a really, really strong opener, and I definitely think it paves the way for many more great songs to be heard throughout this record. Of course, you have the aforementioned title track, but then later on in the album you have songs like Escape the Grave, Devil's Excrement, which is probably one of the catchiest songs on this whole thing. You can't get the hook out of your head. And I'm pretty sure this is something that could get added to Midnight's live song set list in the future. But then you have songs like Warning from the Reaper, Cursed Possession, Raw Attack is another top quality track here. But the music that's being presented throughout this entire album is just straight up typical Midnight goodness. I love the riffs, I love the energy, I love the creativity. It is just so much fun and a blast to listen to. These guitars are roaring throughout this album, and it's really, really awesome sounding. The bass and bottom end of this record sounds really good too. Definitely very well heard and very well mixed. Definitely sounds really good. And of course, every Midnight record has that good top quality sort of sound and mix and production value going on here. It's not too clean to where it's distracting, but you definitely feel like there's a lot of well thought out balance and stuff being well taken care of here this time around. Of course, when it comes to the drum performance, it is fast-paced, speed, thrashy sort of beats going on here. But I definitely think this drum performance never lets up and definitely feels fast-paced throughout. When it comes to the vocals, of course, like I said, I really love Athenar. I definitely think he's an incredible vocalist, an incredible frontman, so charismatic, so over the top. I love his vocal range, I love his vocal delivery, I love his attitude, his snarl. And of course you hear it on songs like fucking Speed and Darkness, Devil's Excrement, Cursed Possession, and even the closing track, You Can Drag Me Through Fire. Just some really, really top-notch vocal work here done by Athenar, and he really, really does a tremendous job here, so yeah. Overall, this is a typical Midnight album doing typical Midnight things. Pretty much being crazy, blasphemous, over-the-top, fun, entertaining. This is a fun and badass record. And if you're a Midnight fan, I definitely would urge you to give this one a shot. I really wouldn't have too much worry about how you think this is going to change Midnight's sound and style. I definitely think that this is a lot better album than Sweet Death and Ecstasy. I still hold higher regards to the early Midnight material, such as Satanic Royalty and No Mercy for Mayhem. But this album is a really awesome step in the right direction for Mayhem. And if you're a fan of this band, I definitely would urge you to give this one a shot. So if I had to think of any personal favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say fucking Speed and Darkness, Escape the Grave, Devil's Excrement, Rising Scum is another really good track, Raw Attack, and the closing track, You Can Drag Me Through Fire. Really, really good songs all the way throughout here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box of how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the Midnight Bandcamp page where you can listen to this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can stream it by digitally, and it is available physically as a CD and 12-inch vinyl. There are multiple vinyl color variations. I think you can buy it through Indie Merch or through Hell's Headbangers. I believe they have some copies to sell. But yeah, get a hold of this album any way you can. Again, the album is Rebirth by Blasphemy by Midnight. This is released on Metal Blade Records. Definitely check this one out. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very strong 9 out of 10. Definitely a top contender for some of the best of 2020 so far. This year is still barely getting its legs together, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be some more great metal coming out soon. So if you happen to have heard this album, definitely let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it, and how you think it compares to previous Midnight releases. Are any of you guys into Midnight? Definitely let me know. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until next time, Army Ho out.